Welcome back to Checkpoint. Are you excited about this new year? I am. And I want to bring you into my excitement because I've decided in 2014, this year is going to be my best year. Because I've decided to step up to the plate, to take some challenges, to do some things that I've never done before. And that involves taking some risk. The question today is, how do we determine which risk to take? Well, because I'm a Bible believer and I like to live my life according to the Word of God, the answer to that lies in a statement by the Apostle Paul who says, walk by faith and not by sight. What Paul was literally saying to you and to me is that if we are going to take some risk, we must understand that everything that life throws at us, we won't always have a perfect picture. But just because you don't have all the facts and the details, it should not dissuade you from taking some God-approved risk. Well, my brothers and sisters, I want to challenge you to make your decisions based on what God says. Because choosing to do something solely on your limited understanding and your ability, that simply leaves too much to chance. If it's God's idea, we cannot fail in our pursuit of the thing that God is telling us to do, in spite of how risky it may appear to other people. You see, in 2014, God is going to tell you to do some things that you don't think you can do. But when you believe in the Word of God that encourages us to walk by faith and not by sight, you will be able to step out on things that seem impossible. But because of the God you serve, all things are possible through Him. You know, I've had people in my life to tell me, you are taking a big risk. Well, when people come to you and try to discourage you because they don't understand, and your friends, your family, your loved ones, they love you and they are challenging you and they're saying these things not because they don't love you, but because they do love you. But that's what happens in the lives of individuals who accomplish great things in life. Before they accomplish the great things, they often go through times of disappointment and failure. But just because you failed at a thing when you're taking a risk, that does not make you a failure. Learn from your failures, learn from your mistakes, but do not allow that to discourage you from taking risk. What I've learned to tell people when they say you're taking a big risk and they don't understand how it's going to end out, I like to tell them that I serve a God who's able to do exceedingly, abundantly, and above all that I can ask or even imagine. It's worth the risk, my brothers and sisters. That dream that you've allowed to remain dormant in your heart, it's worth the risk. That relationship in 2014 that you are about to go after, let me tell you, it's worth the risk. She may tell you no the first time. He may tell you no the first time, but it's worth the risk. This is your year. And it's time to take some risk. See you next time. I'm challenging you to take some risk. What do you mean, Pastor G, take some risk? I don't like that word risk because that word risk involves me possibly winning or possibly losing. Well, let me define what a risk is. When you take a risk, it means that you are about to do something that involves the possibility of something harmful, dangerous, or even detrimental happening. But it's for the sake of attaining or experiencing something of great value for yourself and for others. I know, we often associate taking a risk with doing something that holds out the possibility of rejection or failure. And this is the reason many people won't take risks. They simply like to play it safe. play it by the rules all the time. But if you really want to experience God's best for your life, there'll come a time in your life when you will have to take a risk. You know, there are some elements of fear and disappointment that are a part of taking risks, but those men and women throughout history who have accomplished great things were the people who were willing